Welcome to the 10 Minutes Gold Mine, where every book gives you a treasure of knowledge in just 10 minutes. Hyperion by Dan Simmons. Introduction. Hyperion is a science fiction novel by Dan Simmons, the first book in the Hyperion Cantos series. Set in a future where humanity has spread across the galaxy, the novel centers around a pilgrimage to the distant planet Hyperion, home to the mysterious and terrifying Shrike. The structure of the novel is unique, with each of the 7 pilgrims telling their own story in a way that draws the reader into a world of intrigue, danger, and philosophical depth. As each pilgrim shares their personal experiences, the book explores complex themes such as time, war, religion, and fate, all while keeping the reader on the edge of their seat with suspenseful storytelling. Let's dive deeper into this captivating narrative and explore its key elements. Part 1. The Pilgrim's Journey. The central premise of Hyperion revolves around 7 pilgrims who are traveling to Hyperion. They are bound for the distant planet as part of a religious pilgrimage, but each one is driven by different personal reasons. The Shrike, a deadly and enigmatic creature that is both feared and worshipped, is central to their journey. The pilgrims' tales are revealed in a series of flashbacks, each story offering a window into the past of these unique characters. They come from different walks of life, and as they share their stories, the reader is given insights into the larger universe in which they live. Hyperion is a planet shrouded in mystery, its landscape marked by strange phenomena and ancient structures. The pilgrims are headed there to reach the farthest point of the planet's infamous time tombs, which seem to exist outside of normal time. Each pilgrim's tale intertwines with the greater mysteries of the planet, the Shrike, and the fate of the human race. Part 2. The Characters and Their Stories. Each of the 7 pilgrims has a unique backstory that is vital to understanding the complex layers of the novel. Let's take a closer look at them. The priest, Father Hoyt. Father Hoyt is a religious figure who has been deeply affected by his experiences on Hyperion. His story revolves around faith, sacrifice, and divine intervention. He speaks of a strange, divine experience that changed his life, and his tale is imbued with a sense of guilt and longing. His personal crisis echoes broader themes of religion and the role of faith in a universe full of suffering and questions. The soldier, Colonel Cassid. Colonel Cassid's story is one of war, violence, and vengeance. He is a soldier who has fought in a brutal interstellar war, and his connection to the Shrike seems to be linked to a violent encounter he had during the war. His tale explores the horrors of combat and the toll it takes on the human psyche. His personal struggle with violence and redemption reflects on the greater theme of humanity's capacity for cruelty and the consequences of war. The poet, Martin Silenus. Martin Silenus is a famous poet whose life was marked by fame, addiction, and obsession with creating the perfect work of art. His story is a tragic one, filled with loss and the pursuit of something unattainable. Silenus's connection to the Shrike is tied to his obsession with completing his epic poem, which he believes will be the crowning achievement of his life. His journey reflects the cost of artistic obsession and the sacrifices artists make in the pursuit of greatness. The scholar, Het Mastine. Het Mastine is a scholar who is drawn to Hyperion for the intellectual challenges it presents. His story revolves around the mysteries of time, consciousness, and the nature of knowledge itself. As a member of the Templar Order, he is deeply invested in understanding the deeper truths of the universe. His intellectual curiosity about Hyperion's time tombs leads him into a series of mysterious encounters that ultimately change the course of his life. The detective, Braun Lamia. Braun Lamia is a private investigator who becomes entangled in a murder mystery that seems to be linked to the Shrike. Her investigation uncovers hidden secrets about the people around her, and her story offers a gripping detective narrative. Lamia's search for the truth exposes her to great danger, and her pursuit of justice takes her to places she never expected. The Consul, the Woman of the Future. The consul, a former diplomat, is a character whose story is deeply tied to the political and moral consequences of actions taken by the human race. He recounts his involvement in the collapse of the hegemony, a vast human empire, and his personal entanglement with the fate of Hyperion. His tale is a meditation on the corruption of power and the role of individuals in shaping history. The consul's perspective challenges the reader to think about the broader ramifications of political decisions. The Shrike. The Shrike is the central figure of the novel. This terrifying and nearly indestructible creature is both feared and revered by the inhabitants of Hyperion. Its connection to time and its violent nature make it a symbol of death, fate, and the unknown. Throughout the novel, the Shrike looms large as both a physical and philosophical force, drawing the pilgrims into a web of mystery and danger. Its true motives remain unclear, adding an air of suspense and dread to the story. Part 3. Themes and Symbolism. One of the most compelling aspects of Hyperion is its exploration of complex themes that go beyond typical science fiction fare. These themes are explored through the personal stories of the pilgrims, each representing a different facet of human experience. Let's break down some of the key themes. The power of stories. Hyperion emphasizes the importance of stories in shaping both personal identities and larger historical narratives. The pilgrims' stories serve not only as a way to understand their own lives but also as a means of uncovering greater truths about the universe. The novel reflects on how narratives can influence our understanding of fate, time, and human nature. In many ways, the pilgrims' stories are an attempt to make sense of the world and their place in it. Time and consciousness. Time is a central theme in Hyperion. The novel explores time not as a linear progression, but as a force that is cyclical, fragmented, and complex. The time tombs on Hyperion exist outside of normal time, and the Shrike itself seems to transcend time in strange ways. The concept of time as an oppressive and malleable force is explored through the characters' experiences, and the novel encourages readers to think about how time shapes our lives and destinies. Religion and sacrifice. Religion is another prominent theme in Hyperion. Father Hoyt's story, in particular, delves deeply into the question of divine intervention and sacrifice. The pilgrim's journey is a pilgrimage, after all, and the religious undertones are impossible to ignore. The novel raises questions about the nature of faith and whether sacrifice can ever be truly meaningful in the face of suffering and uncertainty. The nature of war and violence. Colonel Cassid's story highlights the impact of war and violence on the human soul. Hyperion critiques the glorification of war, showing it instead as a source of trauma, loss, and moral ambiguity. Through Cassid's experiences, the novel reflects on the destructive nature of violence and the deep scars it leaves behind. Part 4. The Shrike and the Mystery of Hyperion. The Shrike is a terrifying and mysterious figure in the novel. It represents the unknown and the unknowable aspects of the universe. It is also a symbol of death, time, and fate. As the pilgrims share their stories, the Shrike's presence looms over them, a constant reminder of the dangers they face on their journey. The creature is both a literal and figurative representation of the destructive forces at play in the universe. The planet Hyperion itself is a place of deep mystery. Its time tombs and the Shrike's connection to the planet suggest that there is much more at work in the universe than the pilgrims can comprehend. Their journey to Hyperion is not just a physical trek, but a search for answers to the universe's greatest mysteries. Part 5. Conclusion. In conclusion, Hyperion is a brilliant work of science fiction that blends adventure, mystery, philosophy, and complex character studies. Dan Simmons creates a world that feels both vast and intimate, where personal stories interweave with universal themes. The pilgrim's journey to Hyperion is filled with danger, intrigue, and deep questions about the nature of time, war, religion, and the human condition. The novel leaves readers with more questions than answers, making it a book that invites contemplation long after the final page. The mysteries of the Shrike and Hyperion remain unsolved, leaving readers to ponder the greater implications of the story. What do you think the Shrike represents? Which pilgrim's story did you find most fascinating? What themes from Hyperion did you connect with the most? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. That's it for today's 10 Minutes Gold Mine. If you found value in this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep mining for more golden knowledge. See you in the next one.